Hey everyone, this is Jonathan Bender, and I am really excited to give you a really special edition of our monthly learning series for my community. Normally, these are something that you have to opt in for, and it's going to be a longer class. And I just wanted to get you some tips that are short and sweet that you can do a lot with and just watch this in a few minutes and take it in. So, what we have for you today is an interview that I'm doing with Jackie Lappin. And if you're not familiar with Jackie, let me just tell you a couple of things. So for over 10 years, she has had a great company called Conscious Companies that do things like PR campaigns, radio media tours, and speaking engagements specifically for change makers like yourself. And she's worked a lot with transformational leaders, authors, coaches, speakers, holistic practitioners, and to help you really connect with your following both locally and all around the globe. Now, you may know some of the more famous people she's worked with, like Don Miguel Ruiz, Dr. Joe Vitale, James Twyman, Denise Lynn, Ariel Ford, Hay House, a lot more. And she also just works with like everyday people who are change agents who care about what they're doing and trying to make an impact. So she has an amazing service that I am a member of myself called Speakertunity, and it gives speaking engagements. And we are going to talk about that a little more at the end and how you can just go and give this a try yourself for free as a member of my community. For now, what I'd like to do is just to turn it over to Jackie and let her give you a bunch of great tips and let you go for that and look at how you can do this yourself. And we'll tell you a little bit about how you can also make it easier through her service at the end. So, Jackie, please go ahead and welcome.
Jonathan, thank you so very much for inviting me. I'm just delighted to be here. And it fills my heart to be able to help people get on more stages so that they can change the world bigger and faster. And so without further ado, I want to talk about the 7 tips that I'm going to give your community today. Now, you might think some of these are basic and sort of everybody would know to do that, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do these things. And so this is going to be a really good reminder. The first thing that I'm going to tell you to use is Google, that wonderful tool that we all love, because there is a gold mine of opportunities out there locally. If you simply Google the kinds of events that you want to be speaking at, the meetings, plus your city. So for example, if you want to do women's networking groups, you put women's networking plus the name of your city. Or you might want to put in entrepreneur meetings or health and wellness or chamber of commerce. All of those things can easily be found just simply by Googling. And many of them you can check out and see that they actually have pages that give you who the speaking coordinator is. That's number 1. Number 2 is mining meetups. People don't realize that not only do meetups have just meetings that are established for meetup, but lots of bricks and mortar meetings actually put their events on Meetup because it's a convenient way to attract people from outside. And what's really nice about that is on the left-hand side of the page, there is always a box that includes the coordinator, and you can email them through Meetup. So when you want to search on Meetup, you would either search by subject or by locality. And if you actually register on Meetup and specify your subject matter and your where you're living, they will actually send you those kinds of contacts every month, and you can sort through those and see which of them invite guest speakers. So that's a really great tool. Number 3, if you're looking for corporate types of gigs, then the best solution is LinkedIn. And LinkedIn actually, you can go to the specific corporation or company and look for the human resource manager or the marketing manager. They are the ones that usually have the money or know where the money is or the opportunities, the speaking opportunities are within that organization. Now, another great way is if you don't have a specific organization you're looking for, is to actually put in the search bar specific search terms that will drive the kinds of people to the very top of the list. Meeting planner, event planner, a conference coordinator, conference planner. All of those kinds of words in various different combinations will bring to your desk the people who are making those decisions, or at least bringing the speakers to those organizations. So that is a really good way. But I heard another one today that is another good way to get corporations, and that is actually to go to your local business journal and get their list of their book of lists. Many of those journals, in every major market there is one. They will actually tell you by category, this is women-owned business, this is environmental business, this is lawyers, and you can actually mind that, contact them for who the speaking person would be. Now, back to LinkedIn, there's another social network that you can actually use for getting speaking engagements, and that's Facebook. And most people don't realize that you can actually hashtag Facebook, just as if you would Twitter. And when you do that, then you can put in the same kinds of search parameters that we just discussed in LinkedIn. So that altogether makes a really nice way to attract and find your corporate engagements. Now, another kinds of possibility are a fourth opportunity is to look at associations. And if you're going to look for associations, the very best place to look for them is the directories of associations. And when you do a search in that, you can search by state or by industry. And it could be subject matter such as aging, or it could be health and wellness, or it could be a particular type of corporation of industry. So you can use that as a great tool and what's nice about associations is they don't necessarily just have one national meeting every year. They often have regional meetings, or they have a quarterly meetings around the country. So that's a kind of place where you can actually develop a relationship and get booked again and again and again. Number 5, combing for conferences. Now, again, Google is the great resource here. So if you're looking for that, then one of the ways to do that is comb by subject matter. So you're looking for women's conferences, just ask for women's conferences, you're going to find a ton. Or if you're looking for legal conferences or legal marketing conferences, then you're going to find the kinds of organizations, or entrepreneur conferences. All of those are going to come up, and you're going to be able to see to drive for that. Tip number 6, and that's getting spiritual. If you're actually looking to deliver a personal growth message, one of the very, very best ways to do that is to look at Unities and Centers for Spiritual Living. And a great way, the nice thing about the Centers for Spiritual Living is that they often give you the opportunity to speak at a service on Sunday, and you can create a workshop. And the workshop is done so that you can actually, if you speak maybe on Sunday, you can drive people into the workshop either that afternoon or perhaps on a Wednesday later in the week. And with these workshops, these centers are often looking for a way to get some financial remuneration. And so either they will look to split the revenue with you, or they might ask you to rent the room, and then you can keep all the revenue. Now, there's one other that I did not mention, and that is our number 7, and that is Events in America. That is a great resource that has conferences all over North America. And again, you can search by category, or you can search by locality. All of those. Those are 7 great places for you to find speaking engagements easily and effectively. But it requires a lot of work to actually go do that. So you have to really commit the time to finding those.
Thanks, Jackie. So how long if people are doing it on their own, how much time should they allot like every week for finding speaking engagements?
A minimum of 3 hours. And here's the important part about that. This is not something that you just find remnant time for, because, time gets away from all of us. So you really have to put it in your calendar and bookmark it, so that people will, that when you're going to have a meeting, this is like having a meeting with yourself, so that you can commit the time to do that. So minimum of three hours in order. What I say is, if you can't do the time, you can't earn the dime.
Right. And so that is a lot of time. And yet there's a lot of opportunity as well. Like what I do is that, like, most of the time, if I'm going to take a trip somewhere, I'll also look up places in the area where I'm going and see if there's a speaking engagement that I can do, or I'll set up a workshop there. But it does take a lot of time. And there is an option of a way to make it a lot easier for yourself. And that is Speakertunity. So could you tell a little bit about Speakertunity and what it is and kind of how it makes their life a lot easier, so they don't have to spend all that time?
Well, and that's it. We've done all the research so people don't have to do it for themselves. And we have 3 separate subscription services, so that we give you tremendous visibility all across the board. The first one is Speakertunity Speaker Leads. And that's the one of immediate importance to your community, I assume. And with Speakertunity, we are going to give you local meetings, tons of local meetings, including women's organizations and civic organizations and chambers of commerce and holistic chambers of commerce, health and wellness organizations, moms groups, job search, the whole gamut of local kinds of meetings. Then we give you conferences and conventions and lifestyle events and multi-speaker events. So if somebody like yourself has an opportunity on your stages, or you want to do a stage swap with somebody else, then we give you we profile an organization in every issue, and we say, here's where you can go to find your local chapter for this organization. In addition to that, we give you bookstores that are presentation friendly. So if you have a book, this is a gold mine. The next thing is that we give you retreats and resort centers. And then we give you centers for spiritual living and unities, if in fact that is a viable option. We also give you TED Talks. So we're going to make sure that you know about those opportunities that can really give you that great visibility that a TED Talk does. Now, in addition to that, we have a private Facebook group. And that private Facebook group enables you to get absolute hot, to-the-minute calls for speakers that I am adding in every day. And that's conferences and conventions or multi-speaker events. Somebody lets me know they have an opportunity, and so you absolutely want to jump on that too. Now, in addition to that, we have Speakertunity Radio Insider, and that's radio shows and podcasts. And because I spent my years basically doing radio media tours, where I have 3,000 personal growth radio shows, 400 health and wellness, and 500 podcasters, I've actually rated that list so that you get at least 25 contacts in every issue of both radio shows and podcasts for you to start contacting. Then in addition to that, we have Speakertunity Summits. Most people are, when they do find out about a summit, it's usually when it shows up on their desk and they think, oh shoot, I should have been a part of that, but it's already closed. Well, we're going to tell you about virtual summits that have open guest presenter seats and are looking for folks. And so we've made a point of going and finding those so that you can take advantage of those opportunities. Now, each of these is $35 a month. And they're great value. What would be your time? Your time has to be worth more than $100 an hour. And is this something you would want to do? We would rather you be working in your zone of genius rather than doing it. That's why we've made it really inexpensive for people. But the good part about it is, because we're working together on this, Jonathan and I, we want to give you a gift of a month free of Speakertunity so that you can test each one of these and see if it's right for you and get a sense. That's 100 leads that you can choose which ones to follow up on. And then you can just keep them coming if they work for you.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. And this is something that I just figure would be obvious an obvious trial for every single member of my community. And I want to be really clear about what people should sign up for. So the live speaking leads are based in North America, in the United States and Canada. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Right. So if you are a member of my community who is like here in North America, that is where you should sign up. Now, if you are international, meaning you're somewhere else in the world besides North America, then most likely the place for you to check things out are in summits or in radio and podcasts. Because even though, from my understanding from what you were telling me earlier, is a lot of those are based in North America, but anyone can sign up for those. And so that's a great place if you're in Australia or Europe or anywhere you are, is to sign up for the free trial for those. Or you could sign up for all of it as well. Is that correct?
That is exactly right. You can do any or all of them. You pick one or pick three, and they'll be starting to show up on your desk virtually instantaneously.
Right, so that's whether you want to do a TED Talk, if you would like to get a live speaking engagement on a podcast, we have a lot of great opportunities here. Now, I just want to say is that one thing that sometimes is frustrating for people, they worry about is, oh man, am I just going to be charged after my free trial? So could you say a little more how that works after the month?
Yes, you actually get an email that says to you, you have this, to remind you that you have a choice. And you can just simply continue and you will begin getting charged, or you can opt out at that point. So we've made it really simple, no surprises here. Just want to make sure that it's really user-friendly for people.
Right. So Speakertunity is a great service. I've been on it for a while. They've been expanding it incredibly in 2017. And just to be clear again, you get this as a member of my community for free. You try it out for a full month, and you choose if you would like to do the podcasts and radio shows, the summits, or for live speaking engagements in North America. And then you choose if it feels of value to you, if you'd like to continue, or just enjoy that free month of over 100 speaking leads. Now, one thing also I want to distinguish here is that because of the different types of speaking engagements, this is appropriate both for experienced speakers, and you just want to make your life easier by having it all for you. And I have a lot of friends too who pay good money to people to find speaking engagements for them, and here you have it taken care of for you. So if you are a very experienced speaker, this is going to make your life easy. If you are just starting out too, there's lots of opportunities here that you can find the ones that are right for you just as a beginning speaker who wants to get started. So you can choose. It's for both types of speakers.
Well, and one of the things that we do find is that people tell us they use this a lot when they are planning a trip. And one of the things I didn't mention is that Speakertunity Speaker Leads every quarter gives you a focus on a particular market. So I know in the first year there's Denver and there's Boston, and I think there's San Diego. So you can plan an entire trip with just those. And so it's really nice that you can get things close at home, and then you can also get things for traveling.
That's great. And we've just made it easy for you. You can just go ahead and click on this page if you want to give it a try. And I really recommend checking it out. I was so excited when I heard that everything, Jackie, that you were developing with Speakertunity, and I'm really, really selective about who I bring to my community and to my list, and want to make sure the service is both aligned and it's really of high value. And it was such an obvious yes, please, like let me bring you to my community. So I hope this is a benefit for everyone and that you can really utilize this to bring your voice to the world. Anything else in closing that they should know?
That I believe that your passion should be heard, and we have the kinds of people who are looking for speakers with a message. So this whole point is to serve a community that knows that there are ways to improve life for everyone.
Thank you. Yes, I just want to make sure you know this is not just for general speaking leads, that this is aimed at people who care about creating transformation in the world. And as a member of my community, I know that you do. And so please check it out and enjoy the free speaking leads. And just remember again, your voice matters. And especially in times that are troubled, knowing that you as a really benevolent being, a source of value in this world is incredibly important. So please continue to bring yourself and your message to the world and know that you and your voice matter. Thanks, everyone.